Dgenz Crypto Daily episode 57 is coming right up.
Dgenz Crypto Daily. Dgenz Crypto Daily. That's right. Dgenz Crypto Daily. Let's go. Dgenz Crypto Daily. News in the code. Riding on a blockchain. Heavy with the load. Lambo dreams are dying. Rugs are in the air. Shark gave us a meaning to the trading everywhere. Real Bitcoin's on the moon. And Ether's on fire. Pullers in the storm. Lifted higher and higher. With chart in the lead. Watch the candles glow. Crypto's in the fast lane. Never gonna hit them slow. Dgenz Crypto Daily. Fortunes you can see. Mining all those diamonds in digital harmony. Dgenz Crypto Daily. Crypto, that's the key. Stay up on your game now. Trading is wild and free. DeFi farms are lush, staking's all the buzz. NFTs are flipping, got those pixels flipping. Wallet stacking yield, hash rates on the rise. Dgenz Crypto Daily, vision in your eyes. Bulls are on the charge, bears are laying low. Crypto roller coaster, markets ebb and flow. Fellow to the left, Bitcoin on the right. Crypto's never sleeping cause fortunes are overnight. Dgenz Crypto Daily, fortunes you can see. Mining all those diamonds in digital harmony. Dgenz Crypto Daily. Crypto, there's the key. Stay up on your game now. Charts got you wild and free. DeFi farms are lush, staking's all the buzz. NFTs are flipping, got those pixels flipping. Wallet stacking yield, hash rates on the rise. Dgenz Crypto Daily, vision in your eyes. Bulls are on the charge, bears are laying low. Crypto roller coaster, markets ebb and flow. Fellow to the left, Bitcoin on the right. Crypto's never sleeping cause fortunes are overnight. Dgenz Crypto Daily, fortunes you can see. Fortunes you can see. All those diamonds, digital harmony. Dgenz Crypto Daily, crypto, there's the key. Stay up on your game now. Charts got you wild and free.
Yep, I do. I have you wild and free. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Dgenz Crypto Daily, episode 57. On this awesome Monday. How y'all doing? I'm doing better. I had a bout with bad food the other day. And, when you eat something that just doesn't sit right, it takes you out the entire day, even the following day. So, feeling better. Thank you for asking. I am looking forward to another exciting week in crypto. As we move forward in time, we get even more excited because we know the bull run is around the corner. All indicators are pointing that way. Everything is lining up for us to have this crazy bull run. So many tokens to talk about and discuss and follow, right? There's going to be a whole bunch of opportunities to discover new gems within the bull run. That's more exciting for me because, especially when you have lots of capital, you can deploy it into a project that hasn't seen a bull run, right? And it's launching at the right moment. And we can probably identify something like this and just go crazy. Let's just have some fun, right? So let's look at Bitcoin and Bitcoin weekly close candle today, see where that is at. We're even going to look at the monthly candle because we're about a week and a half away from the monthly close candle as well. So that's important. Let's see how that sets up the rest of the 3-4 months down the road. Also, let's look at Politified tokens. We're following Kama and Trump. They're important tokens because they're riding the sentiment of the election. We're about a couple weeks left before the actual election. People are already voting on their candidates right now. Early voting, I think, started already. So let's see how the tokens play out. And let's look at some of the layer ones today, just to see where they are. We'll look at Sui, maybe say Polkadot, Cosmos, AVAX, a whole bunch of them. And as well, don't forget, if you have requests, we're more than happy to look at them. Before we start anything today, let's do a couple order of business. If you haven't had a chance to follow me on Twitter, this is the opportunity to do that. And why is that important? Is because you can get notifications on me being live, right? As soon as you follow me and I'm live, you'll get a notification and you can catch up on everything that we do, everything that we talk about. All right, so give me that follow. As well, if you haven't had a chance to follow our Dgenz NFT account, we're an amazing community on Solana. We discuss NFTs and art and technical side of Solana or other blockchains. We just recently were talking about the Jupiter staking rewards and how you can claim them. So we're always on top of things. And so if you're interested in a community like that, click on this Discord link and that will take you to our Discord. As well, if you are interested in following the stream and interacting with the stream, you can quickly do this. Go to the broadcast page, go to the right-hand corner and say GM chart and happy Monday. Just like that. If you have a request of any sort, could be a token lookup or a chart, please post it in there. I will take a look. And if I find anything interesting, I will definitely post it on the stream. All right. The other thing we did was we're going to start a newsletter, a weekly newsletter. So for those that are interested in a free newsletter, you can subscribe right now using this website link. We're going to find a way to get it shorter. I know it's a little bit of a long link, but it's dgenz-crypto-weekly.beehive with 2 eyes.com/subscribe. And you get a free weekly newsletter every single week about crypto in general and tokens and setups. And, if you're new to crypto, how to start a wallet, how to open up a wallet, all these kinds of things. There's a lot of interesting things we're going to cover during the newsletter. Okay, so we've done all the things we needed to do. Let's take a look at what's new in the world of crypto. Looks like Bitcoin is nearing 70,000, which happened over the weekend. It was pretty close. It was like 69.2. I actually thought we were going to break 70,000. And it felt like it was too soon, in my estimation. But we'll look at the Bitcoin chart in a second. So it says here, Bitcoin nears 70,000 amid record open interest. We talked about the open interest. As more trades are being active, that's what open interest means. They're not closed. They're anticipating a big run, right? So there's a high anticipation of a big run coming up. So nobody's closing these trades yet. And so we also expect an election, right? An election is normally positive for crypto. It has been in the past history. So we can kind of see the correlation there. So we'll look at Bitcoin in a second. What else is new? So you have your articles talking about, getting closer to 70,000. And, like I mentioned to you guys before, I think the neckline is going to be about 72,000, maybe 73,000. So we might stop there, and then we're going to be probably bearish for half a week. So I think we get closer to that 72 by the end of the month. So we got about a week and a half to go. So I do feel like this week is the week. ApeCoin surges 100% as Yuga Labs debuts ApeChain. That's interesting. So ApeCoin has introduced an automatic yield mode, allowing users to passively earn returns by staking their Ape tokens. All right. that chart is amazing, by the way. With the 70 cents silver, $1.60. Nice. So remember when I tell you guys, like when you see candles like this, that's an unhealthy move, right? When it just pumps like this without any retraction, either it's manipulated or it's a reaction to something that happened, right? And then there's going to be a sell-off. So immediately when you see something like this, there's going to be a sell-off back to this level here. So the real level is right here, 90 cents. And then you'll see a retraction there, and then bulls will come in either at 90 cents and buy that level, or we'll let it go all the way down to a proper level, which is probably about 70 cents again. And it does take a long time to get going again. That's why I don't like these spikes, these unnatural spikes, Now, if this continuation, right, and then the flags here, and then it goes up again, then okay, fine. But I just don't like spikes like this. So the much-awaited ApeChain went live Sunday, bringing native staking yield to Ape holders. That's all it is, essentially just a way to stake your Ape tokens. So ApeCoin is the Bored Ape Yacht Club affiliated ERC20 for governance and transactions in the ApeCoin's ecosystem. So, I mean, if you're using anything within the Bored Apes Yacht Club's ecosystem, I mean, fine, it's great. But, I always talk about the fact that, if ApeCoin is earned through the gaming that ecosystem has, and it doesn't have a feedback loop into the ecosystem, then it's going to be sold really quickly. So, if you guys know more about the ApeCoin and its ecosystem, please let me know. But right now, as I see it, if you're earning ApeCoin through the games, or if you're just staking it, then it depends on how it's being used. All right. What else do we have? Hash rate is at all-time high. All right. So you guys know about what I was saying about being exposed to Bitcoin. One way to do that is by simply just buying mining stocks, mining companies, right? Because like the percentage gained from mining stocks is going to be way higher than the Bitcoin price gain at this level, at least, right? So this year, Bitcoin hash rate hits all-time highs. Publicly listed miners' share of the network peaks. Exactly. 7-day moving average for the hash rate surpassed 700 EH. I don't know what the EH is for. It's probably for some quantity. For the first time, marking a 13% increase since the April halving. So that means they're putting more miners online. Right, so every time hash rate is moving up, that means they're computing much faster. Bitcoin hash rate has surpassed 700 for the first time, marking a 6% increase over the past 7 days. Bitcoin's hash price briefly went above 50 pentahashes per second, a 2-month high. All right, so let's take a look at mining stocks and see where they're at. Because the market did open. That's the Bitcoin price, but let's take a look at the mining stocks. They were up quite a substantial amount on Friday. So Riot. So this is going to be on the monthly scale. I just want us to take a look at it from a macro point of view, right? And now you guys heard me talk about this before, right? These pumps are during the bull run. And quite frankly, I think they're almost like front running. Because as you can see here, right? So October, November. So it's almost like if Bitcoin is moving before the alts, right? Stocks are also moving before alts. and they're short-lived. So when we have a pump, you can see it's a matter of like 3 months, and then it goes down. Same here, 1, 2, 3, 4 months, and it's down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months, and then it's down. So even with this, right, if we get the first month up, we got to count about 3 months, and then we're out. So if we get the price action to be this high, say $64, and we're into the third month, get out, right? Because it just shows that it's short-lived, right? Now I think it's going to get higher. So every run is going to get higher and higher. So I think we get, much higher valuation, probably 125, maybe even get to this blue EMA, which is the monthly 200 EMA. And that's, see how it fits this narrative right here. So this area right here is a contentious area. And that 200 EMA is about here. It's $179. So do we get $179 for Riot platforms? I mean, that would be a win, right? I personally, because after this closes, I'm personally owning a lot of Riot shares myself. So I'm happy with that run if it happens. But the way you should definitely do it is you got to look at these things from, what's available and then time it takes to get to that level. So if we're like 3 months in and we're only here, that's going to be the top. If we're 3 months in and sitting right there, that's probably going to be the top, right? So I'm not going to hold till it gets to this level. I'm going to look at it from how much time has progressed and do we have enough time to get to this level, right? Because if Bitcoin is topping 120 in like February and Riot is sitting at like 97, I'm out, right? I'm not waiting for it to hit this 200 EMA. Does that make sense? Same goes with Mara and the other ones, right, that we're looking at. I would be riding Mara to here, right, 134, which is amazing returns, really. But again, these runs happen during bull runs. Like this one was from 2017. So the history shows that it happens every single time. The cool thing on Mara, you can see kind of almost like a head and shoulders situation right here, where that's breaking, right? It's not going to go down anymore. It's going to go to the upside. And so now we go to the level here, I think, 132. I would love to revisit this when we are finished with the bull run and see if we're accurate with our assumptions. But yeah, you can want to look at Clean Spark as well, right, on the monthly. Even though there was a slight pinch here, it doesn't mean it has to go through. So it means we can still go up, right, without the pinch, right? So it goes like this, it fakes it, and it goes back out. If you take a look at the upper area, right, we can probably assume that this action is going to get to, 100. Absolutely. I think miners overall are going to be way more profitable now than they're going to be, in the past, because even though margins are getting smaller for every halving event, I think computing power is getting bigger and bigger. And of course, the higher Bitcoin price, the better it is for everything. So, all of these companies are going to do well, including Wolf, TeraWolf, right? Is there a possibility of us getting up to here? Maybe. But definitely be exposed to some miners. There's lots of them out there. There's Cypher, right? This is a monthly chart on Cypher. You can probably say, 15 doesn't seem right. It's probably going to be up here. HUD 8, I think. Do we get back to this level? I think we can. Absolutely think we can. Maybe start here, 43, and then go from there. A lot of options for your mining stocks. I chose Riot because I've done my due diligence a bit. And so I'm going to stick with that. I'll take my chances to see where I'm going to get. All right, let's go back to Bitcoin. Let's see where we're at. All right, this is the monthly. Let's go to the daily. We'll do monthly in a second. But So this is what's happening right now, right? The MACD does look like we're suggesting some regression for the next few days. We have the momentum shifting, right? And that's why you see some selling off here. Now, most likely what happens is we go back to the previous high. So the previous high was there, all right, which kind of coincides with this EMA right here. That's 13 EMA on the daily. So that's about 67,000. Let me check here. No, sorry, 66,000. So look for 66,000 as to be the week's low, right? So most likely we hit that level, and we stay there, right? Maybe go sideways for a couple of days, and then we go again. The only issue here is that there's a pinch, most likely a pinch happening here. But as you guys are going to see in the weekly, we're starting our bullish trend. So I think these pinches are going to be short-lived. What I mean by that is, things can pinch, like for example, things can go like this and then come back up right away. Okay. Let me see if I can find an example of that on the daily scale. Yeah, like right here. So this is what I mean by that. There's the pinch. If we're bullish, this should continue up, right? We were bearish in the moment of June, so we kept going down, right? It was actually a pretty nasty pull. But, we are in bullish territory right now. We're approaching the end of October on the weekly scale. We have this momentum bar in the green. If you can see it, that little green bar, it's meaningful, right? Because we're, approaching bigger and bigger bars. So every single bar that's bigger, our momentum is going to get stronger. So this weekly candle, it's just the start of the week candle, right? If you guys remember last week, we did the same thing. We started and then we ended up going low initially, and then we just blasted through. So what's going to happen this week, I think, is the next couple of days might be bearish, just for the moment, and then we get really going. Okay, because I think this momentum is going to carry us forward. So weekly, in terms of like this candle alone, is amazing, and what could be happening as well is it's just a touchback move, which is basically this, right? Kind of like this. It blasted through like that, and then now it needs a touchback. Okay. That's why I think about, what do we say, 65? Somewhere here. It's going to be the low. And then we go from there. The monthly scale. I want to show you guys the monthly scale for a second. Because I was looking at it today and I thought, it's interesting. So normally when I see something like this on the MACD, right? You see how there's a pinch there? We had that one pump a second and then down. That was during the height of the bull run, by the way. We're almost getting the similar quality here where it goes up, a little bump, and if we already had an all-time high, we would almost expect that the end of the run. But we haven't had any of that yet, right? So I think what might happen is actually an expansion of this fractal. What I mean by that is, if you take a look at what happened in 2018, okay? So, whenever you have this down wave and another down wave, you think it's going to keep going, right? But it doesn't, and it comes back up, right? It goes into the bull run. I think we might be doing that, where it looks like we're going to be bearish, but we actually do something like this. So we do like this and then go down. Now, obviously, I did this exaggerated because it looks like we're in 2028, but what I mean is like something like this. We do 3 waves, right? So 1, 2, 3, and then down. And we have to have the highest MACD level ever recorded, right? Because for every new bull run, this is the bull run 2017, we thought was crazy, whatever. Then this one came about again. See how much bigger it is? I think the next one's going to be way bigger too. It's going to be up to here, right? So I think this is just a start to a giant fractal that's coming up. So I wouldn't be so worried as I normally would be, in other words. And so this is why we can definitely say that, let me remove this. We are approaching this large fractal. I think we get to that 120,000 level, go sideways, and then bear market. Right. Where do we end up in the next bear market? I don't know. I mean, we're getting these higher lows, right? The 2 bear markets ago, the low was 3,300, I believe. This low was 15,000. What's the next one? 30,000? 20,000? Right? There's a possibility of this being right here, which is 32,000. And then we get into like 320,000 for the next bull run, which could be like 2028. It's so far away from now. But the monthly candle looks good too when you look at it, right? We were about 10 days away from closing. And if you didn't even know this was Bitcoin, you would think, oh my God, we're going to get a pump, right? Like this candle is just going to extend to this level. And it should, right? Because remember, we talk things in threes. And if you look at this, there's one wave, 2 wave, and the third wave should be up here. Okay. If Bitcoin gets to 320,000 this cycle, I'm happy as hell. But I'm not going to be blindsided by thinking it's going to go there for sure. So that's why I say 120,000 is the top. And if we get more than that, that's great. All right. So looking at dominance of Bitcoin, this is actually on the monthly scale. It's interesting to see it on the monthly scale because, we talked about this level being contentious, right? This level here. And, I talked about in the previous streams that I kind of expected this quick pump and then dump. That might actually still happen, but we are seeing some regression at this level again and again, and we could see this finally turn towards the negative side, which will give alt some momentum, right? The bull run's here. Whenever we see action like this, that's the bull run, okay? And we want that. The sooner we get to that, the better, right? Now, it'll be interesting to see one thing, right? So whenever we have lower highs, that tells me people are more and more eager to sell at whatever level it can get. And in this case, it's a lower level. So it's just psychology, really. So say, for example, we had a top here, right? And people are more inclined to sell again. As we get closer and closer to this top, right? People get impatient and they say, you know what? I'm not waiting for this top. I'm going to sell here. And then more and more people start to wait for this top. And they start selling at the lower end of this top. That tells me there's more sellers than buyers, right? And this is what a double top or a lower high means. It means that there's way more eager sellers at that level, and we're willing to sell it even at a loss than there are buyers. So when we see a lower high, it's actually a very bearish move, right? And so in this case, in this market cap dominance case, if we see another lower high, that means more people are willing to swap Bitcoin into alts, right? Because that's what we're looking at on this chart. If we actually get that, again, I said this may happen or may not happen, but if we get that level broken, it is going to be incredible to see how much alts can do, right? Because normally in a fractal, so this is the fractal here. So, all right. I know it's getting messier. Let me clean this up a bit. In this fractal here, as we were getting, different supports and resistances, the less, the more people are willing to swap Bitcoin to alts, the much higher likelihood of this chart going lower than this 40% that I always talk about. Does that make any sense? So I'm interested to see if that actually holds true, right? If this line actually never holds and just continues to drop past that, which means the dominance of altcoins is going to be way higher than what we expect. Okay. And it makes sense to me because here, I'll show you something else. All right. Let me remove all these little things. I want you to see it from a nice perspective. We look at things in threes, always. So first section is here of dominance. Second section, dominance is here. I think we're going to get a third section, and it should be down here. And then eventually either it stays really, really low, or it actually goes up much, much higher, which is terrible for alts. So I think we're probably going to get Bitcoin sitting here for a while, for a long time, actually. Because as crypto cap moves up, say in 2030, we're at 60 trillion, 70 trillion, right? All that means is more altcoins are going to have higher valuations as long as Bitcoin dominance is low down here. If Bitcoin dominance is higher up here, that means altcoins are going to have very, very low market cap valuations. Does that make any sense? Okay. The last thing I'm going to look at before we look at something else is USDT.D. That's the tether dominance, right? So if you guys remember me talking about this level is the second level. This is the first level. And we need to get to the third level, which is down here. All right. So I think what's going to happen is, even though we are kind of pinching, do you see that? Like we're pinching on the monthly. I think this actually goes the other way. So what it does is goes like this and then down. We create a new wave. So this new momentum wave is going to be created. So it's going to be another one here, another one here. Most likely a much larger one. And you can see that it coincides with this nasty, bearish candle that's being produced right now, right? And so what that means is the next coming up months, we're going to have a lot of bearish action on this chart, which means crypto is actually going up. I know it's hard to believe, but it's actually going to go up. All right. And then we're looking at this level here as a means of identifying whether or not we're going to use that as support for this chart. And of course, we're going to time the bottom of this chart so we know where the top of the Bitcoin bull market is and when we can get out. So as long as you listen into the stream, you'll be on top of things. Mark my words. So we got lots of positive things to look forward to in the next few months. All right, let's look at some requests. I know they're being posted in our chat. Okay. We had a comment from Harpreet. Look at Oculus. All right, let's take a look at Oculus. When Binance, Lee? When Binance? I'm kidding, of course. We discussed the reasons why it's very difficult to get listings. For one thing is, first of all, they're not free unless you are generating like hundreds of millions of dollars in daily volume. And only then exchanges are incentivized to list you without any questions, right? But if you don't have the volume to support it, most likely what happens is you have to pay. And it depends on the exchange. Sometimes it's $100,000 to get it listed. And it doesn't really mean anything sometimes. It doesn't mean it's going to have more liquidity or whatever. As well, what you have to remember is just because you pay the $100,000 doesn't mean like you all of a sudden have no responsibilities. You still have to provide them the full liquidity, which means you still have to provide them, like in Opulus's case, it's probably 50 to 100 million tokens, which I don't even know what they have. So that means Binance would have to accumulate themselves in order to, if they wanted to list it. And they have to have supply and liquidity, which means US dollars as well. So it's not just easy. All of a sudden we list it. Now, there's some cases where I think, for example, Velo is going to be listed by Binance because they're actually accumulating Velo. And it's been proven now in many cases that they're doing this. So, there are projects out there that are going to get the listings, whether there's payment or not. It depends on, of course, like the exchange itself. And I know in like Coinbase's case, they are very reluctant to list things just because they have to answer to the SEC all the time. So they have to be compliant. And this is why we're always, for regulation to come in so we can have identifiable rules that we can apply to tokens, and then they can be easily listed, So, all right. Opulus, is it going to get to $2 and $3? Absolutely. Here's why, right? One of the biggest indicators for me for identifying projects to invest in is the question has this token or project seen a bull run? Like an actual bull run, like a full scale bull run from the start to finish? And the answer for Opulus is no. It was listed at the end of the bull run, and it didn't have the chance to have a full run yet. So this $3-4 that was on HTX, I think it was like $7-8 on KuCoin. It has to be revisited at some point. We have to say to ourselves, is that the true top of Bitcoin? Or sorry, of Opulus? Just like we do it with Bitcoin, just like how we do it with Solana, right? So we have to test that level. Now, whether we get to that level or not, we'll have to see. But we definitely have to try it. So one of the things I can say on this chart, at least, is that $2.87 is a fairly strong resistance, right? Because it was a support. So we can do something like this. Okay. Once we have it set up like that, we can identify a first sell spot for, price action that gets to pretty heated, right? So when you have price action that's traded really hot, like say, for example, it's going like this or even higher than that, then you can say, all right, where can we sell possibly, right? And these are the levels I identified you can sell at. So that's 218 and 287. Okay. That's on HTX. Now, they're all different. Let me see Opulus on KuCoin. Right. This is the chart I normally use for all my identifiers, but it's a little bit busy. So I'm trying to see if I can give you one that's not so busy. So what was it? 218. Do we have anything here for 218? Yeah, there's something there. You can say so. Like right here. So they're close. But on this chart, let me remove this. Actually, let me remove everything. Okay. So in this chart, right? First, we have to identify where our resistances are. So I did resistance there, resistance there. There's a resistance here, right? Another resistance is about here. We have another one just above it. Okay. So when you identify them really quickly, then you can say, all right, now I have my spots to sell in. Now, should you wait until those are hit? No, absolutely not. Normally, my rule of thumb is about 2 to 3% less than that. Okay, at the minimum, actually. Because you don't want to be that person that, you have a sell order at 225, it goes to 224, it doesn't hit. I've been there. I know people that have been there. Just don't do that. Rule of thumb, 3% less than that top is good, right? But I think what happens there, and I told you guys this before, the way Velo trades, I'm all over the place today. The way Opulus trades is very simple. It goes really quick, okay? And we will most likely get to this level first. So that's $1, right? I don't think that's the top. I just don't think that's the top. I think we get at least double that. So at least $2, right? Quite frankly, I think we get more than that. But we need to see more high lows. What I mean by that is sooner than later, we have to get up to here. And when the bull run hits, we want to be up here, like up to 30, 40 cents. All right. Clearly, we have demonstrated we can get there. So it's not like we can't get there. In bullish conditions in March of this year, we ended up doing a lot. Like we went from, I think it was 10 cents to almost 40. That's a 4x. Okay. I do think we need to get going sooner than later. So let's see what happens in the next few months. All right. Remember, bull run's 2025. We still have lots of time. Okay. Hopefully that answers your question. Let's look at Velo, because I know people have asked me about Velo, and that's why I have it on my mind, actually. So Velo is here. I'm going to remove all these again, just so I can get you guys to understand what's going on. So the good thing is, like, we see a lot of open air between these EMAs on the daily. And that's actually a good thing, because if we get a run of any sort, we have to close that gap, right? So, you know, we can see some identifiers for a resistance. Right here was contentious, and it fits this line right here. So this is daily 3-year EMA. That's 10.95. Okay. It's at 15 cents. Then we have some resistances here. Okay, it's about 10 cents. Then we have resistances here. That is 30 cents. Let's find some more. Okay. All right, we have one, looks like here. Let's go there. Okay, so that's 58. And then we have obviously this one right here. Now, the reason why I'm not putting them at the top of the candles, especially the wicks, is because the price action is really fast. So those wicks don't really identify a true top, in my estimation, right? So I'm going to say it's not representative of the top. Now, we can see, like, in this case, this action did stop at this level, which represents 2 spikes. So it's basically this spike here and this spike here. So we can maybe say that is a good level, right? So these are my sell areas on Velo, all right? Now, it doesn't mean we're going to get there at all. It just means that if we get there, this is where I would start selling, okay? Does that make sense? Now, we're so far away from that, right? We really need to get momentum, and I think we can. I think Velo has proven before that it can get crazy momentum. And so I'm still very, very bullish on Velo. Nothing's changed for me. I mean, look at the monthly, for example. It tells you a story, right? Look at that green volume. I mean, we had a little bit of red volume from time to time, but look at that green volume altogether. So when it comes, and it comes in bunches. So those are my levels. If you want to use them for your selling, whenever you want to sell, you can do that. Remember, anything that I say here, you have to vet yourself. That means go over them in your head, double check if it's true. If you need to do more fundamental analysis, you need to go on to CoinGecko and check it out for yourself. Please do that, right? Because I'm trying to give you some information, but at the same time, you have to do all your due diligence for all of this. All right. Okay. The last thing I want to talk about today is the politified tokens, which you haven't gotten into yet. So one of the funny things I saw today was GOAT has a volume of 174 million. Do you know why? Because most likely got listed on exchanges, right? This is what exchanges look for when they're looking to list projects. They want that, exchange fees. They want to make sure that you're paying all these fees to make trades, right? So if you have a project that has a lot of volume, they want to have it, right? They'll list it without any payment whatsoever. FWOG went up 30%. Congrats to those who held it. Let's look at Trump and Comma. We need to be on top of them all the time. So we said with Trump, there is a possibility of a dump, right? Because the daily was looking a little bit dumpy, right? Even though there's 2 weeks left. Here's what I said, right? This line is either going to hold or is not going to hold, right? We see the increase in momentum, bearish momentum coming up. Okay. So what we could have is a breakthrough here, reset at the horizon, and then we have a pump. That means it's probably going to pump in the last week of the election, right? Because these things take time, and it might take some time to get through this. So what does that mean for price action, right? Well, this is where it is. You guys do remember me talking about this dump again, right? We said that there's going to be a possibility of getting down to here, and we actually got that. I said there's a possibility of getting lower at 25 cents. So let's see what happens. Do we get that dump to this level before we get another pump? There's a possibility of that. Why? All right, so I'm going to do some trend lines here. I know they're not going to be exact, but I'm going to use the bodies of candles. Okay, and I think this is where it is. So the trading channel is there, and the upper area is going to be about here. About there. Because these wicks are not representative, I think, of true price action. So the true trading channel is here, I think. Right? And then maybe that's when we get our pump. So if we do have some regression, I did tell you. I actually told you this last week, right? But it doesn't mean it's the end of the world, right? We also talked about that. I think we're going to get to this level. So most likely we get to this right here on the left-hand side. Like I think we get to this level. So that means down momentum, pump out of that for the last wave. Probably get to 85 cents as well. Right? But from that point on, we probably get a down wave. So again, do not hold past the election, right? And we'll see how it goes. But be patient with this trade. I think if you don't hold anything right now, you're probably better off to see where things land, right? Because there's a possibility we probably get down to 25 cents, 26, 27 cents. And then we get a pump out of that wedge. For Kamala Harris, it's taken a while, right? Like, it feels like forever. We wanted this price action to be up here already, but it's not. I don't know what it's doing, but it's not there. This long fractal, it's kind of coiling. It's nice that it's coiling, but it might coil until the last week of the election, then pump, right? So we'll see what happens here, but I don't like this price action. Now, this is an opportunity to get in before there's a pump. Absolutely. I think we do still have some action before the election, right? I did talk about the idea of that 1-6 1.6 cents to be the top. So like right here, that could be your last fractal. Okay. Still not bad, about 250%. Does it get higher than that? Of course, it can definitely get higher. We can definitely have like some crazy action to here before the election. But I would not expect it any other way. Because if this was really, really bullish, we would be already up here and then treading and going up. But we're not. We're at the opposite end of that. So I wouldn't think that we're going to be much higher than this if we do get a pump. Okay. So use this opportunity to identify those levels. So that's, somewhere at 1.6 cents up to 3.5 cents per comma. All right. I want to take a look at PopCat just a sec. All right. PopCat is funny because, it's at that level. You see that level, right? This level right here was true all along. So it was identified as support. And we kind of had a pump from that area, right? But it did not make a higher high. It made almost like a higher low, which we talked about before. That means more sellers are eager to sell at that level. And so we had a pretty sizable sell here. Now, if we do have a sell-off in the next couple of days, this is probably going to break through and it's going to come down to here. Okay. It doesn't mean the end of the world. It just means that like now you have an opportunity at $1 to be adding to your position. All right. And then probably have extension in the upcoming weeks to like 250 or so. All right. Goat, I told you guys to remember how this trades and see that. I kept that up just to, give you guys an idea what I expected, right? And this didn't hold, right? This essentially did not hold. Now, it doesn't mean that goat can go up again, because it can, right? It just means that this wave, this fractal here is done. So we had a down fractal, right, to this level here, which was a contentious area. And so people bought in. And so let's see what happens. Does it touch back here and then down? There's a possibility of that, right? That will produce a double top. Okay, so you have probably an exit if you bought in here at 50 to 53 cents. But be careful, right? Because people are going to be more eager, which means it could produce a lower high. At that point, just get out. Just get out really quickly. All right. GME, we're waiting for this to explode. I'm eager. The only problem is we're getting that pinch on the daily, which kind of sucks right here. And that could be probably a down wave, right? It could be a down wave to here and then up, or a tread sideways until it resets. I think it gets its cues from the GME stock, so keep an eye on it if you have GME, the meme coin. All right. Last one for the day. I'm going to look at FWOG. Why did it pump 30%? All right. So somehow it managed to pump. Probably got a listing. That's why it happened. An immediate reaction down. So remember what I told you guys about candles that are just unnatural? So this one was basically from here, from 16 cents to 25 cents, right? Like almost 100%. Let's say 70%. So 70% candle. Of course, it's going to be sold off. So, what happens now, it depends on the day, right? Today and tomorrow, if we have a little bit of selling, right, this could probably retrace back all the way and then go sideways and then go up again, or goes all the way down to this level. So if you're trading, be careful of that, right? This is a bearish candle. Okay. So this takes us to the end of the stream. Again, I thank you all for joining me for episode 57. We will do this again tomorrow for episode 58. Bring in your requests. I want to see your requests. There's lots of tokens out there to look at. We'll go over more Politify tokens. We'll look at Bitcoin. See you guys tomorrow.
Heavy with the load. Lambo dreams are dying, rugs are in the air. Trump gave us a meaning to the trading everywhere. Real Bitcoin's on the moon and ether's on fire. Rollers in the storm, lifted higher and higher. With chart in the lead, watch the candles glow. Crypto's in the fast lane, never gonna hit them slow.
Dgenz crypto daily, fortunes you can see. Mining all those diamonds in digital harmony. Dgenz crypto daily, crypto that's the key. Stay up on your game now, trading is wild and free.
DeFi farms are lush, staking's all the buzz. NFTs are flipping, got those pixels flipping. Wallet stacking yield, hash rates on the rise. Dgenz crypto daily, vision in your eyes. Bulls are on the charge, bears are laying low. Crypto roller coaster, markets have been flown. Fellow to the left, Bitcoin on the right. Crypto's never sleeping cause fortunes are overnight.
Dgenz crypto daily, fortunes you can see. Mining all those diamonds in digital harmony. Dgenz crypto daily, crypto that's the key. Stay up on your game now, charts got you wild and free.
DeFi farms are lush, staking's all the buzz. NFTs are flipping, got those pixels flipping. Wallet stacking yield, hash rates on the rise. Dgenz crypto daily, vision in your eyes. Bulls are on the charge, bears are laying low. Crypto roller coaster, markets have been flown. Fellow to the left, Bitcoin on the right. Crypto's never sleeping cause fortunes are overnight.
Dgenz crypto daily, fortunes you can see.
Fortunes you can see.
Mining all those diamonds, digital harmony. Dgenz crypto daily, crypto that's the key. Stay up on your game now, charts got you wild and free.